We're live.
Go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our live Sunday live video. This topic is long awaited. You guys from Facebook, from YouTube, Katya's channel, Vivian and Faith, we welcome you all today. The topic is now what is hidden under the sun. It has been there. We are going to be talking about FGM, female genital mutilation. First of all, I'm going to welcome Faith and Vivian. You guys, if you are not new to this platform, Vivian and I, we do host these shows on Sundays. And we have an additional somebody here, Dr. Faith Adodo. So Vivian, you guys already know I cannot go back and forth. She's a Nigerian Nollywood celebrity. And let me use this opportunity, her video or her movie will debut on Netflix in 2 weeks' time. Please make sure you continuously check on my channel so that you guys will not miss when that video goes on Netflix. So welcome, Vivian. And we have a guest, Dr. Faith Adodo, who also wrote a book, special book. She's a PhD doctor about this topic that we're going to be talking about today. We also have a medical doctor who will be calling in online to view his own opinion on this topic. So without further ado, what's Vivian doing?
I'm trying to get used to my office, and I haven't been home for a while. So you guys are higher than I am. So I'm trying to see how to move myself up. I'm kind of low.
So Vivian, I'm going to pass this over to you because the audience would like to hear from you, coming from the medical field, being a nurse. What do you know about FGM before we pass this over to Dr. Faith Adodo?
Oh boy. FGM is something that I was born into. So I remember when we were children, when I was a child, we didn't really know what our parents were doing. They were celebrating it. So it's the circumcision of the woman genital, where they have to remove, in some places, the clitoris partially, the foreskin. In some places, they do a complete clitoral removal. And it's so sad, knowing that we've been talking about slavery. Women were slaves in those days, and we are still slaves today. Because everything that was initiated or has been done is to satisfy the men. I'm sorry to use that word. It was the men. We have no voice. So circumcision of the men is easier. It's just round and round on the top parts and it's gone. But the woman circumcision is so hard. It's easier when you do it when the child is 8 days, 10 days old. In some culture, they wait for you to be 16 or to be 13 before they do it. I think in the Urhobo culture, they even do it before you marry. They are dancing in the room. You go inside at your age. Adults are looking at you. Though they said it's always the traditional medicine women that does it, but I've seen situations where men do circumcision. So the first time in my life that I saw a complete FGH, I cried. When I got home, I saw it. I've seen it more than 10 times. A complete, like a tie road. Nothing is left. And now we are a little bit civilized, or our technology have grown. In those days, what do they use? Scissors, broken bottle, knife that is not sterilized, and there is no medical intervention if the arteries that are very sensitive in the clitoral area is being tampered with. The child can bleed to death. They're going to tell the mother of the child, sorry, she didn't make it. You kill her child. You kill her daughter. You are saying she didn't make it. And after doing this, they don't even have antibiotics to give to you to prevent you from having infection. Whatever they are doing natively, boil some concussions and give it to the child. If you didn't make it, you don't make it. And we've seen some of our friends have bedwetting. We didn't know why they were doing it. We called it at that time spiritual problems. This can be as a result of inappropriate circumcision or SGH. We have long-term side effects. So much. The one that was so hard for me to go through is after circumcision, then they go back and sew it and leave a little bit of a space for you to drink. And this is from the KM. No, I'm here. I'm seeing you all. I'm hearing you and I'm here.
Okay.
Faith, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you.
I'm seeing you guys and I'm hearing you. That
Katya, can you see her?
Yeah. I'm seeing that to me, I cried. So when she's gonna get married, if her husband cannot penetrate, they take a scissors and cut it a little bit for her, so that the husband can penetrate. And then they put the white cloth on the bed. They are shouting. She's a decent girl. And if she's gonna doing childbearing, they also have to expand her. Remember, we are talking about how many centuries ago when there was nothing for pain. If she's too tight, she cannot deliver, she bleeds to death. In most cases, mom is going to make it, the baby is not going to make it. So we've come so far, and
okay,
it's so much to talk about today. It's so much to talk about today. We can't even cover it.
Yeah, it's a huge topic.
Yeah. So Faith, Faith, because you wrote a book about this, can you tell us what prompted you to write this book and tell us different kinds of circumcisions? Because I read that it's 4 different kinds of circumcisions.
Yes, I will. Thank you for having me, Katya, once again. Actually, I embarked on this journey because of my lived experience as a survivor of a FGM. What prompted me to write, not really, I didn't write a book. Actually, it was my major research during my master's program. Okay, so I went on this journey because reliving that experience, it rehashes bad memories. Okay. In order for me to speak about FGM, I have to go back to when I first witnessed the act. Okay, FGM happened to me when I was a baby because then I didn't have agency. I was just a 7 days old baby. Okay, when I did my master's program, I was searching for what I was thinking of. I was thinking of what to write about, and I realized I thought very deep. I was like, okay, wait a minute. I remember when I was young, I attacked my grandfather about FGM. Why not write about it? My intention was to write about disability, talk about education. Immigrant children who migrated to Canada. How they are being tagged or labeled as children that are disabled. So my intention was to write about the fact that maybe it's transitioning, barrier, cultural barrier, language barrier, and all that. So, but I now said, wait a minute, I think this is it. I'm going to write about FGM. This act is something that I have always hated so much. I was very young. I was like maybe 12 when when I saw it wholeheartedly. That memory is still lived with me. I'll tell you, I was traumatized when I witnessed it. So I'm just going to give you a synopsis of how or what led me to write my major research paper on FGM. So when I eventually decided I was going to write my paper on FGM, I told the professor that, oh, I'm writing my paper on FGM, female genital mutilation. She was like, oh, good. Why do you want to write this? I said, because it happens to me. I'm a survivor of this act. She was like, okay. And because I will tell you, this is coming from the horse's mouth. As somebody that have had a lived experience of FGM, and I told my supervisor that I am going to write from an autoethnography point of view, somebody that have the lived experience of someone that actually went through, that have been through that thing. So she was like, wow, they are looking forward to it. That they've heard a lot of people interview people, they'll write about, but they've never actually had any person that is a survivor that wants to write about it in the academia space. I said, wow, I'm gonna do that. So I wrote about it. The reason why I wrote about it is to also create awareness, and also for it to be abolished, completely abolished. Even though they've tried to abolish it, I'll tell you, it is still very, very prevalent. It is widespread, even in the global north. I'm going to attest to that because I did extensive research in London, England, United States, in Canada. Immigrants come here with their traditions, their cultural values. You'll be surprised that even though they are educated, some of them are doctors themselves, but they still hold on to that culture. I'm telling you, they will tell you that it's their culture. So they justify it that this is their culture. If they cannot execute it out here, they take the kids back home to carry out this act. So I decide to take on this journey because I didn't just witness it, but my grandfather was the one carrying out the act. I'm not using this show to castigate my grandfather, or rather, am I going to use it to say, oh, he was doing something that was detrimental to people or something? No, it was because of the culture, their cultural values and tradition. They didn't know better. My grandfather in our village, if you ask me, in our community, he was viewed as an hero. He was highly respected. There is a name they call them in my community. They call them Osiwu. So by that name, I was also respected as the granddaughter of Osiwu. Osiwu means somebody that can, that I was meaning of Osiwu. I don't want to give it. Means somebody that carry out this act. Ovio Siwu, they call me Ovio Ejeo Siwu, which means the granddaughter of Osiwu. Then my mom will be Ovio Siwu, that's the daughter of Osiwu, or Ovio Siwu, no, like that. So that's to tell you how they respect my grandfather, how my grandfather was respected. So just to before I just proceed into the or talk more about FGM, I would like to touch on the World Health Organization's definition of female genital mutilation. Most people know it as female circumcision. Okay, they call it female circumcision, whatever name you want to call it, but I choose to call it mutilation because I was asked when I gave a presentation. They said, why do you decide to call it mutilation? When we say mute, something that is stopped, muted for some reason, for that thing not to function very well.
No,
so I choose to go with
I think the reason why it's mutilation is that they are trying to stop the growth of the clitoris.
Yes, the clitoris. So I am coming because the reason why because some people choose to call it circumcision, female circumcision, but I go with female mutilation for a reason. So, and the World Health Organization and the UN agency define FGM as the partial removal or the total removal of the female external genitalia. Okay, and these things were not done for any medical reason. It has no medical. There was nothing. The genitalia, the clitoris has no issues, no medical issues, nothing, but they wanted to just remove it because they feel the need that if your clitoris is protruded, is so big, which means you must be sexually promiscuous. That was the assumption, number one, that you cannot hold on to one man. Okay? So all these things put together, there are so many questions that we'll ask here. Why all this? Why are they doing all this to women? So I went on this journey to start investigating because of what I saw at the age of 12. My grandfather, I'm just going to give you a synopsis. My grandfather came to our house. We have a tenant in our house, passage house. If you live in Nigeria, wherever you're watching me from, those of you that have passage house, some of you happen to have, duplex. No, I didn't came from a home like that. My house was a passage house, right? Face me, I face you kind of thing. So we have a tenant, she had a baby and we were all rejoicing when she had this baby girl. I was like 12. And after 7 days, my grandfather came from the village and in our backyard, I will tell you what I witnessed because I have everything in my MRP. And for those of you that want to find out, my name is Faith Adodo. Go to York University, type FGM. If you're looking at Google Scholar, you will see my name there. Just type FGM. Type the disabling impact of female genital mutilation. You will see me right there. Okay, my MRP is in Google Scholar. So now I watched my grandfather. The baby was crying profusely. This baby was crying helplessly. No, but they were removing it. I was like, why? I was screaming. Leave. Why did remove? I was just screaming. I was so frantic. I was frantic right away. I was like, oh God. So my mom was like, leave here. I'm rehashing this memory. What do we call that? Trauma. I'm telling you my lived experience. I am rehashing what happened maybe 40 years, if you will, 30 something years ago, because I'm in my mid 40s, a little bit over my mid 40s. Okay. So, and they eventually, my grandfather did the circumcision. I'm going to list what he used for you to know that I witnessed it. Snail, when you kill the snail, when you break the snail, there's this water that comes out from the snail, the light water, the liquid water. It stops the blood from clotting. The blood will not clot. It stops. So my grandfather break the snail. I want to tell you now. I have all these things in my MRP. I'm rehashing. I'm going back to memory lane. Broke the snail. Put the water to stop. There's a way they do their thing to stop the bleeding, and immediately the bleeding stopped. And they use palm oil, the red oil, if you will. Rub palm oil in the baby's vagina. Then the last procedure, I'm still trying to go back to my memory. They use black soap, to watch out all those things and all that. So I was asking, I was scared. I didn't know I was helpless as a child. But my mother now said,
I have seen it
live
done many
here.
times.
Yeah, that was my first time, and that was the last. In short, I never, because I am still. So after I left, I was like, wow. My mother was like, shut up! I don't know your mouth. You talk more than like you are always asking questions. What kind of a child is that? I told my mother, no, this is not right. I hope they didn't do this to me. Right there, I told my mother, if I have a child and your father tried this, I said I was just, my mother was like, shut up. He has been doing this thing. And, I said, no, he will not try to my child. God forbid. I said, if I have a child in Nigeria, he said, let me just tell you, if you don't know, we did it to you when you were just like this. I was like, really? She said, yes. I said, Jesus. So you mean I went through what does he said? Yes. 7 days. She said, I said, so why do you guys do this when the baby, he said, because the skin is then the baby's skin will be very tender. The baby will have tender skin. So it's much more difficult when you're, when you're older, like
exactly
15,
when you are younger,
16.
it's
When you're
way
younger,
better.
they believe that the skin, you can recover very easily. You can heal very, very easy. Yeah. So yeah, that was what happened to me.
The thing that happened is, the Egyptians, the reason why they circumcise women, they feel that the clitoris is gonna be erecting like the male the penis.
We are coming to
they
that.
They don't want the women to be muscular, so it's a way of reducing the woman's right and
it's
making
oppression.
her say as a woman, to oppress her. That was where all these circumcisions started from. I know
Egypt,
Katia has
from
somebody
Egypt.
standing. The doctor is standing. We're almost half an hour.
No, it's okay. We have to talk before he's gonna call in. Anytime he calls,
so
he's watching.
As Vivian has earlier has rightly said, it started from Egypt, and we have over 200 women or youngest that have been mutilated. I'm telling that are survivors of mutilation, and you will be surprised that we have even in Indians. When I gave a presentation in my class, because I'm a TA, teaching assistant at York University, I taught. I was invited as a guest lecturer, and I taught the students. They were amazed. They were like, "Whoa, really?" I said, "Yes." I listed the countries that this act was, widespread in. India. It was in India. It started in Egypt.
Yeah.
It started in Egypt. And African countries, we have the Muslims, we have the Christian, we have the Jewish. They practice this act of FGM. And there are other complications. My grandfather, he mutilated over, I can tell you right now, over 10,000 women. During the course of during the time he was carrying out this mutilation, he only had one, according to him, only one woman died. And guess what? When that lady died, they said they associated it with witchcraft.
Yeah.
She bled to death. Mm-hmm. She was an honorable woman about to get married. They have to, some depends on the culture. That's why it varies. We cannot talk about FGM in a monolithic way. No, it is not possible. We have to look at it from different culture. We might be from the same Nigeria, but we have different ways of doing things. So this woman, she was about to get married, and she's supposed to be mutilated before getting married. She died because as a result of overbleeding. But what did they say? They said it's a witchcraft that killed her.
Yeah.
They didn't associate it with the fact that, it could have been bleeding. They could not stop the bleeding. And mind you, nothing. They don't take anesthesia, nothing. It was done it will be just like that.
Just like I said.
They will do it just like that.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to tell you now, when I was 8 or 7, my friend, my childhood friend, she came from, I don't want to mention her name. Yeah. She was mutilated twice.
Why?
Her own came out again twice. Yes. The mom now decided to take her to Ibadan for them to recut her again, because the mom said her own is coming out like a flower. So they now took her back to Ibadan to cut her again. When she now came, and I said, where did she said, they traveled there. The mom had to go cut her. She said the flower is too big. It's like a hibiscus flower. That was how she described it. That hibiscus flower is not good at all. So all these things, in short, I don't know what to say. That was why I forged ahead with my master's program, and I applied. Said I want to investigate more. I took gender studies, my PhD program. I'm in my 4th year. I'm a PhD candidate right now. Now I'm talking about, my dissertation title is the controlling and the policing of women's body.
Okay, Faith. Yes. Sorry to just cut in. Can you list us the kinds? Because I know that there are 4 kinds of mutilation.
Yeah, they have 3. They have
3.
4. Yeah. Hold on, the doctor will be here. I will tell you the 4th one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's 3 kinds. They have the, how do I call it now?
The partial removal.
Then the second one is 1 second. I have them here. I just just too into what I was just. I will list them for you. I have everything
They have
here.
partial, they have complete,
They have complete.
They have the sooner, they have
yes,
the pharaonic mutilation, which is done in Egypt. Which they also have the one that is the sooner type. Yeah. Then the fourth one, I'm not sure,
they
because I
have
actually
the
listed three.
infibulation.
Infibulation, yeah,
They
that
have
is the one that they remove
that is the one they circumcise,
the mayora, yeah,
and the sutoids.
yeah.
That is the one I was talking
So
about. That after the
yeah,
circumcision,
the
they
one that
go
they will
back and they
sew, that
sew
is the
it,
second type.
and
The first one is the one that they remove a little bit of it, and the second one is the one that they will sew together. That at the end of the day, yeah, they sew it together, it's stitched together for you to. The only part that is left is for you to be able to pee.
and menstruate.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah,
just gonna say
and
something
yeah,
before the doctor calls in, because this is what depression due to FGM. When you are married, you know, we don't express our sexuality, or we never know what is called orgasm. Most women that that have FGM, most of them, they don't enjoy sex. You have to
sure.
take a long time to even to romance them for them to get wet. I'm sorry, this is an adult program. And men love women that are flexible nowadays. So the culture before is for a woman, for a man to come. Do you know what I'm gonna say? All along, our mothers were being raped. Our mothers were being raped because they never enjoy sex. The man comes in like a hunter, step on her, and he comes out, there's a child. And for those of us that come into this century, there is depression for those people that were completely circumcised or FGM. You don't enjoy sex, and clitoral glands is so important in sexual intercourse and romance.
Yes, it is.
And for women who doesn't have it, oh my God, I'm sorry. If you don't have it at all, I'm so sorry. It's hard to enjoy sex without that. So there's depression in the marriage because the man expects the woman to express her enjoyment. And then he goes out now and try one of these women, side chick, who are not circumcised. You want him to come back home?
Mhm.
It doesn't matter how beautiful you are, he's not going to come back home because when, I'm going to say something very funny. Agodai, the comedian, he was on stage one day. He said, "I don't care what you do. I just want to hear that noise. You understand? And if you are not enjoying it, so most women are now faking orgasm to save their marriage. They are not enjoying sex. That is the truth. I have
And
spoken to friends that tells me they fake orgasm. They don't enjoy sex.
so yes, because somebody that doesn't have a clitoris in a woman's body is where that contains the most nerve endings. In
I
our
am.
entire body, it contains the most nerve endings, and this is where the sensation comes during the sexual intercourse. But how do women who don't have clitoris, how do they reach climax?
Zero.
I'm good. This
Zero.
is really, yeah.
If it's a complete clitoral remover, how?
I will
Unless
tell you
unless a G spot is internal. And according to what we are hearing, more than 50% of women enjoy sex from the clitoral glands. So a lot of women do not even enjoy physical penetration. Most women, according to what I've studied and what I'm hearing, is the
yeah.
clitoris. And if you don't have the clitoris, the man is not more than enough to know how to romance and how to do whatever he has to do. And as we know, most African men do not know how to romance, unless the one that have gone out with some white women, they are well exposed.
No, 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 no.
But the typical
No,
African
no.
man, oh, I'm going to say this. If you may, I'm not saying all of them. I said most. My English is well defined. I said most. And when I say most, many women will come here and tell you that yes, it's true, because they've been trained that way. Unless you have to retrain them and let them know your body. Only this is what I want, and this is how I want us to start. Most of them will learn. Some of them will refuse to learn. So depression with women that have LGM, how do we deal with this? Really? Faith?
Yes. Go ahead.
No,
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm saying
saying
right now, women that have FGM, complete removal, which I have seen in other countries, how do they enjoy sex? And their husband is out there enjoying women that are flexible. Because when you are completely circumcised,
yes,
there is no way you are flexible enough for
What
your
they do,
husband.
I will tell you, most women now, modern women these days, they are trying to reclaim. I know it's not going to be natural. They are reconstructing. They do clitoral reconstruction. It is very widespread now, because though I know it's not going to be natural, I don't know how it
I know
feels.
about that, but
I am not. They are doing. They are reconstructing their clitoris. They said they are claiming it back, because I won't lie to you. It is so. It is. She's not. It is so hard to get to orgasm. It is so hard, and it's so painful. And I am going to write a book to name it "The Unerased Scar." Is a scar. It is never going to be erased, whether they reconstruct it or not. It is never
natural.
going to be erased. Okay, so it is so painful to see that.
Hello.
And one of the biggest problems, I'm telling you, is scarring.
Yeah,
When
can
women are not well circumcised, every
are you
time they
Yes.
have
ready for
intercourse,
question?
they have pain. It's like they're having a
Yeah.
little tear all the time, a little
Okay,
tear all
okay.
the
So
time.
we have a doctor online. Dr.
Yeah.
Molokai is here. Um, I was talking to him backstage before now. So he told me the experience he had in the northern part of Nigeria. Women who like had everything removed, pregnancy and the complications. Dr. Kenneth, thank you so much for being online. Can you please give us a little bit of insight? And we also talked about stage 4 mutilation. Can you take us on this, please? Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for welcoming me here. You see, I don't know how far you guys have gone, but stage 4 normally is not even the problem. The problem is the type 3. Like I was telling you, that is the one we call
The pharaonic.
Hello.
That's the one that they stitch.
Okay, yeah, let him talk so we can hear him. Yes, okay.
Okay. So the type 4 is actually every other sort of female genital cutting that is not meant for medical purposes. But the most feared one, or the most wicked one, is the type 3. You know, that is the one that involves cutting. People just cut everything and then they narrow the external genitalia. And that is the one that usually gives complication during birth. You see? I mean, all sorts of things can happen, like she was saying before. I mean, people can bleed to death, people can get infected with HIV because they don't sterilize these instruments, okay? Those are the acute complications. But in the long run, you know, it could give obstructed labor, especially if it's not properly managed. And of course, the sequelae of obstructed labor could be vesico-vaginal fistula, the baby can die, the woman can die. So overall, it's a very bad thing, and I thank God for the awareness that you're raising right now. And another thing is that sometimes you don't even see the effect of these things, because sometimes they are psychological. And because of our environment, the nature of the place we live, people don't usually say what they feel. You know, so they kind of nurse these things without expressing the feeling. I mean, a woman who is having sexual difficulty wouldn't come out and tell you that they're having difficulty, you know, having sex. Maybe because they've gone through this process, this type 3 FGM. And so they nurse it. And so it becomes difficult to get an accurate data as to the extent of the problem. Okay? So overall, I thank God that you're raising this awareness, and hopefully people will listen and learn. Okay?
Yeah. Can you tell us something that we talked offline, like women who are trying to have children with the type 3 and the hole is so small and the baby cannot pass through that hole? What do they do when a baby cannot pass through the hole?
Okay, the normal teaching is that once the woman is in labor, of course, if the woman had attempted antenatal care, it would have been discovered, right? But that is not the time to correct it. Normally, when the woman is in the second stage of labor, that is when you can cut through with under anesthesia and then expand the opening so she can give birth. But in some cases where you have in emergency cases like this, you can't even do examination to check where the woman is. I mean, to the level or the stage of labor where the woman is. And so overall, you might just have to go on and then do a cesarean section. That is for someone who is properly cared for. But for those who don't get the privilege of getting adequate obstetric care, they end up maybe having obstructed labor and then either dying or losing their baby or having vesicovaginal fistula. But normally you can cut through, you can expand the opening in second stage of labor and allow her to have a normal delivery.
What do you call piercing? I also learned that women who pierce their clitoris and put diamonds and gold into their clitoris is also considered circumcision because it alters the nerve ending.
Yes, they all fall under the umbrella of female genital mutilation or female genital cutting. Yeah, that is type 4. You know, anything that you're cutting is external genitalia that is outside of medical indication is considered FGM. And so the piercing, pricking, and all that fall under type 4.
Okay.
Yes. That's wow. This is what women go through. And sometimes when men cheat outside, ordinary people don't understand because they have to satisfy their urge. And women will be wishing that they think they have control to reverse these things around so that their men can at least enjoy them. But like we said in the beginning, some culture. I'm learning today that this started in Egypt and they still probably carry this on. Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes, Egypt.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a form of trying to believe that if the clitoris is standing, the way the man is standing, that means they are becoming equal.
Yeah.
So they want to remove the muscular part of the woman. That was their reason at that time.
Yes.
And it was this is not biblical. It was only men. The Bible said circumcision is only for men. This is not biblical. This is just to suppress the women.
And it is still happening on today, as it's in Igbo land, it's in Benin, it's in Yoruba, it's with Muslim, all parts
Jewish.
of
As I've mentioned before, I said it's 3 because I didn't know of that 4th one. You see how he talked about the freaky, piercing is now seen as type 4. No, because for me, when I did my research, it was 3 that I did research on. The first one was this excision of the clitoral pupils. Then the second one was the the third one, the pharaonic one is the worst one. That is the one that they will actually sew. That is the one he emphasized on mostly. Then the second one is the one that is more widespread in our culture. It's not like we don't practice that other one, the tsunami, the pharaonic circumcision is very widespread within the Muslim culture. Okay.
Which one is the pharaonic?
That one is the one that they will sew together.
Is what they call the infibulation.
The infibulation. Yes, they sew it.
That's what they call it in English.
Yes,
infibulation.
Infibulation is also known as the pharaonic. That one emerged from Egypt. Yes.
So that's so that you can only see your period.
Yeah, if you know it's meant for you to be able to see your menstrual period, and the reason for that is for you when you're getting married, so that you'll be a virgin and to keep it tight
for your husband,
and so that Please, this is so. I don't know what to say. It's just to keep it tight and all that. So
as much as you can take 4.
This is really why some men step out of the house.
Yes.
Thank you, lovely Cherokee. Sometimes we have to see with the men. Men are so used to being bashed that they are cheating. Anybody that is eating food needs to enjoy the food they are eating. This is suffering too.
I'm gonna come. This shouldn't be the reason this shouldn't be the reason men are giving for stepping out of the house before you marry her. No, that shouldn't be the only reason. When you marry somebody, it's not an excuse. When you marry somebody, it's for better, for worse. In these recent days, you've made love to her before you propose to her, so you know how she expresses herself.
I'm going to direct this question to Faith. Faith, first of all, let me applaud you.
Yes.
The reason why I'm applauding you, like super heavy applaud. Not a whole lot of women will come out in public and say, hey, I'm a victim of female genital mutilation.
I have to.
It takes a lot. Like women, especially African women, they love to pretend they don't want to because they don't want to be judged. But for you who have come out to say that you are a victim, let me take this to you, this question. When you met your husband for the first time, did you tell him?
He knows. It's part of the culture.
It's part of the culture. What are you talking about?
This is, excuse me, which one is? Katia, can I? Jesus Christ, this is not, tell him what. He knows.
Oh, statistically, you are too?
Yes.
Where are you coming from?
They are all survivors.
Where are you coming from?
It's not something to be ashamed of.
Okay, let me take this.
So what are you saying? What are you saying?
To the exciting moment.
Really?
How do you guys get to the climax?
Oh yes.
No, my clitoris is intact.
What you do is what you do is to ensure that can I give you, let me use this as an example. You were talking about getting to the climax. How do we get to the climax? Just imagine somebody that is blind. I want to use that as an example. There are other senses that you use. You now ask how come this blind man can navigate his way around within this environment? You know why? The blind man will be able to figure out something and use that to help himself. His eyes are no longer active, but there are other senses that he will use that is how. Because we cannot be, I will tell you, because it's also it is so hard. I'm not lying to you. When I was young, I was more exposed to infections. Any little thing you can get infected. I'm not joking. Infections, and you have to be mindful. I'll talk about the health consequence too, even though the doctor talked about it. I'm going to list the short-term and the long-term consequences. Infections, as they've said, miscarriage, hemorrhage when giving birth. So all those things. How do you enjoy sex? Now, it is now your mind. You have to look for a way. You have to, and you make sure you hold on to that one. And especially if you don't even love that person, forget it. That is the end of the whole thing.
But
it is not even going to.
It's in Benin,
I don't know, and it varies too.
We don't have.
It does vary.
We don't have complete FGM. We have partial. So we don't have complete. We have partial.
Yes.
This is personal. I remember my mom told me that she told the guy that circumcised me. She didn't want him to do it. She said she went to him and said, just touch it a little bit, so my husband will not say she's not circumcised. My mom was against it.
Oh, so the men will also marry you because you're circumcised?
Did you hear what I said? I said my mom told me. She said during the circumcision, she went and she told the traditional doctor to just take a little, because she didn't want me to be circumcised, and my father was against it. My father wanted me to be really circumcised. So my mom always tells me and said, my daughter, don't circumcise your old daughter. I said, I'm not going to do it. He said, because when it was time for you, I went behind your dad to tell the guy, barely touch it. So your father did not even know. And your father told him to do a re-circumcision because he doesn't want a prostitute in his house.
Thank you so much, Sister Vivian. I'm going to talk about the reasons. If you want me to list it, can I list it for you? What are reasons for FGM?
Okay.
One of the main reasons for FGM is to bring female sexuality under control. That's number one. Another second. Wait now. To bring female sexuality under control is the number one. Then the second reason is to maintain, because I listed all the reasons, to maintain the dignity of the family. If you are not circumcised, you'll be ostracized within your community. You'll be seen as a freak. You'll be seen as a girl that cannot stay in one husband house. You'll be seen as a girl that the husband cannot travel outside and leave her for 6 months because your thing, which is your clitoris, will be so itchy that you want somebody to penetrate. Then another third reason is to feel empowered within your social group. Yes, I did it to you. Did you do it? I am going to tell you this. Female circumcision within the context that we were in, like in Nigeria, it's not a thing that I would say I'm ashamed of. Instead, in that context, I was proud. I was circumcised. I'll tell you, I was proud. Yes.
Back home.
Yes, you want to know now. I'm educating you because I was proud that I was circumcised, because you can be ostracized within your cohort. Your cohort will see you as somebody that is a freak. Yes. So I'm listing the reasons. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm listing the reasons. Another one is to avoid stigmatization from your community. I just talked about it. You don't want to be stigmatized. Ashawo, sports girl. You don't want that stigma associated with it. So if you were circumcised in my community, you are going to say it openly. You're going to be proud. Okay, it's just the reverse. The reverse is the case right now. Another one is to be able to control your own sexual urge. So that for you, they've told you that when it's itchy, you are good. When it's protruded, you cannot control yourself. You just want any man to do it. Okay, so another reason to avoid being orchestrated by your cohort, as I've said before, members of your community. Another one is to avoid infidelity in marriage. Because once you're not circumcised, according to them, maybe your brother-in-law or your husband friend can do it because you cannot keep yourself.
Okay.
And another one is to promote. Yes, I'm listing my reasons. Another one is to promote social cohesion. You know, you want to be able to, be part of everything. So, and then the final one is to ensure profitability as a higher bride price, depend on the community. Because in some community, if you are not circumcised, your bride price, they will not pay. Like, I don't know if that is what happened in the Robo people, but when they are getting married, that is when they carry out the circumcision. So these are some of the reasons. And now we are going to talk about the power and oppression.
Okay. I have something to say. Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Let's
people from Benin.
Yes.
The people, you guys are close to Benin, right? I know you're not like Benin Gogo, right? So
we are Benin.
Okay.
We are Edo people, Benin.
Okay, let me just say something. So the tradition did this just to put the Benin women, like from your own area, onto control so that they don't go out.
Okay, Katia, I'm going to come in.
Let me just finish. Can I finish?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Finish, okay. So why is it that after all these things they did in Europe, Benin women are still the most promiscuous, ashawo people that they're calling out?
I'm sorry. No. I'm going to correct you. Listen.
Katia.
I'm going to correct you. Katia, I'm going to correct this myth. I'm going to correct you. I'm a Benin woman. We are not the most.
I'm a Benin woman too.
I'm going to correct you.
Most of them in Europe.
I'm coming.
Most of them in Europe. And
when you attack me directly, I'm
So what will you do, Katia? In this case, I concur to what Vivian is saying. You have to pose the question. We are survivors now.
Now, I like it because I am here on social media.
When you attack the Benin's like that.
No. Hold on.
I'm not going to take it.
I watch the videos. They come out. Vivian, if you want, I will send it to you.
No,
you don't need to send it to me. Katia,
can we talk one at a time? You're not letting me talk, okay? Benin people, most of them, I'm not saying all of them, most of them on this social media will come out and they attest what they're doing in Europe, and they do video and they dance and they gallivant about it. the kind of life they are living in Europe. If you are a Nigerian and if you are on this social media, you cannot tell me that you have not come across, especially on Facebook or on YouTube, Benin women that come out to social media to Galatan, and they call themselves this original Ashawo. I will send you the video, Vivian.
I have seen all the videos.
Yeah, Katia, thank you very much.
Excuse me, Faith. I'm going to say something. The Benin women are not the most Ashawo women. They are the one that talks about it.
I know
the
all
Yoruba
all
women
the
we are
culture.
going to Europe. Listen to me, please. The Yoruba women we are going to Europe in the pretense of going to do business in London. They are the one that started Italy. The issue that happened with the Benin women is out of poverty, extreme poverty, the parents sent them there. And they went into drugs, they went into everything. They become what they become. Listen to me, please.
No.
The Benin women, before they started going to Italy, other tribes have been going there quietly. They call it business. They leave London. I am telling you what I know. So you cannot tell me what I know. There are things.
Why did the Oba cost the Benin women about 5 years ago?
Out of poverty. Poverty is the reason why they
It's supposed to stop them. All this mutilation is supposed to stop them from telling their
That is why
health.
I'm telling you, they didn't go there to enjoy themselves. Most of them went there to help their family. I call it laziness, the greediness of the family. Mother sending a young child of 12 years old to Italy. Do you think she's enjoying sex?
No. But if mutilation work for Benin people, they will not be in Europe.
Katia, this is a controversial topic.
Yes, I
can't do this.
I
can't do this. You know I can't do this. You have to, I can't do this because in this situation, I'm a Benin woman. And I've seen the Calabas. They do what? They don't just go to Italy.
They might do what? They're not coming out. They're not coming out to say it. They're not coming out to say it.
Can I talk?
They went there to make quick money.
Can I say something? Because we have different point of view.
The Benin women are more of Ashawo. When you go to
I'm going to say something.
I didn't say they do video.
Multiple men.
Can I correct something, please?
They do video and they post it and they tell you where they
Can I correct something that we don't know, because we talk from different perspective, you know?
Yeah.
Now, Katia has said, what I also want to point out, if you're watching me right now, I'm a Benin woman, a full-fledged Benin woman.
Yes.
Another thing is, those some of them that claim that they are Benin women, don't get me wrong, were born in Benin. I have a friend, Igbo friend. Her name, you would have asked me, you know what she calls herself? Osareme. Pure Igbo from Onushugbo. I am telling you, she speaks Benin more than me.
Yeah.
Isha people, I want to give you, we don't have to argue. These are just anybody that is this like being in Lagos now. So what they now do, since Benin, they are spoiling the names of Benin, they will not claim that I'm from Benin, I'm a Benin woman. So everybody will now say Benin women, Benin women, Benin. I will tell you, when it comes to culture and tradition, we have what we call awa. You know what awa mean? Awa means sacrilege.
Yes.
Let me tell you, gone are those days. Before, as a Benin woman, if you are married and you step into somebody and somebody else touches you, I'm telling you, it's either you lost your child or you yourself, something will happen. That is how I am telling you. So most people now, they will now go all in the name of, castigating or spoiling Benin name and say, oh, I am from Benin, I'm a Benin. Once they can speak, say,
but why did
I am telling you?
Why did he?
No, we cannot. Katia, we cannot call our Oba to this. And again, if you see
the Oba did it to stop the name.
To stop the name, the spoiling of our names.
The disgrace.
I'm telling you,
they are the most pernicious women in Nigeria. We have a lot in Lagos there. If you go to Lagos, go to Ale, go and see all the Yoruba women that are standing there.
Somebody is saying something here which makes sense. Hold on.
I have to say something because when I'm a full Benin woman. My mother is a Benin woman. My father is a Benin man. And I can't stand here and not speak for the Benin women. And
of course.
Yes. When I was growing, we were young, out of poverty.
And again,
our parents,
when it comes to this FGM, are we going to fully say we want to cause our? No, it was, I will say, why they were carrying out all those things before, it was due to lack of knowledge.
Now
I am not lying to you. They have transitioned, and now you can see that most of them, they are even against it now. I'm telling you, it was due to lack of knowledge. So during that era, they passed that stage.
God bless you. You know what I'm telling you? You kind of coming to what I'm talking about. Somebody on the comment section is saying that the younger generation, because maybe when you were in your 20s, it was very prevalent. But the younger generations now that are in their 20s presently, they don't allow that to happen anymore.
No, it doesn't.
It's not them that is not allowing it to happen. Their parents know better.
The parents, we advocating. I'm in my mid-40s. Do you think I would let my daughter that is 19 years to be mutilated?
That's what somebody's saying here, that the younger generation
and again,
that go out to do those things in Italy and stuff because they are not.
No, it's not prostitution that I'm saying. I'm still talking about FGM. No, okay, I'm still talking about FGM.
I need to correct something. You know something? When a thief is caught, you are the one that is stealing.
Yes.
The prostitution in Calabar and Benin is more than Italy. You know, when an illiterate is rich, the whole world will not hear a word.
Yes.
When an educated person is using a pen to steal in the bank, millions, nobody will know.
Nobody will hear.
The Beninese who went to Italy, few of them,
they were not educated.
I'm going to tell you something. A lot of boys are answering Sarah in Germany and France. They are not Benin boys. A lot of armed robbers in Benin are not Benin.
They'll see they are Benin
boys. The Igbos came to Benin. In the night, they are still calling themselves Sarah. So the Benin are making their own more loud. But go to Lagos. I'm in Lagos almost every 3 months. Go to Ireland. Are there the Benins that are there? In Calabar, all the wrong guys that are spoiling marriages are the Benins. The Benin took their own to a different level. Instead of dying out of poverty, can I finish? Instead of dying out of poverty, their parents took them to go and make money. And few people disguised themselves and went as Benins. There are things I'm going to say in this word. Sometimes I don't like pointing hand on saying name calling because I'm very proud and successful Benin woman. And though I've had all these stories, I've watched videos, but I travel a lot. The Benin are not the most princess women or Ashawo women in the whole world. When you go to Lagos, Ireland, go to Lagos. I've been to Lagos. I see young girls as small as 500 naira.
Hold on. You are still not getting what I'm talking. I'm not saying Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Tifi, Efik, everywhere.
Yeah.
Why? Italian.
Yeah, but I have to come in because people want Ashawo.
People get into prostitution. But what I'm saying is that, hold on. What I'm saying is that, why is it that mostly, I'm still saying it, mostly the younger ones from that Benin are the ones that go out and they entangle themselves into prostitution, and they have madams that sends them out to go and do what they're doing. So whatever you're saying now, I'm not saying you're wrong, but what people are seeing on the eyes is the image they're portraying on social media when they will come out and say they are Benin and they speak their language. Let me tell you, I have been on this YouTube and I know the fight on this YouTube among Benin women.
All those ones.
I know too. I watch all of them.
I know the fight that they
fight. Them.
Are you going to tell me that they are not Benin people?
I'm going to tell you something, Katia.
Arguing.
What we are gradually doing here now is.
I love this. I love it.
What I'm telling you right now is that the Benin in Italy and the ones in Lagos who are more, it's just because they took their own into a business level, into a different level. Instead of staying in Benin there and be marrying one man marrying 10 of them, they went to go and look for money out of poverty and selfishness and laziness. Our parents allowed this to happen. So if you go to Nigeria, you will see that prostitution in Nigeria is no limit.
So yes, I love that this got a little bit controversial, but
I'm on the show.
Have you guys ever talked about this? Vivian, I know your mother is late. Have you guys ever discussed just a general discussion with your mom
about
what?
about now that you're like
I
grown
did.
about FGN?
I did.
Of course.
I can say I'm not affected. So my mom, I spoke to my mom. The reason why I spoke to my mom about it, I've seen women, friends, they speak to me about it. And I said to my mom, how come I'm like this? She said, no, I told the man not to even touch it at all. He just took a little bit. So I'm not the one that will come and tell you I'm traumatized or I don't enjoy myself because my mom protected me. She did not allow a lot of things to be done at all because I've seen my mates and I've looked at myself, my friends. I said, Mom, I'm different. Say yes. I barely allow them to touch it. So I can come and tell you now, oh, I'm traumatized. I have a complete FGM. I don't. My mom really protected me. Even at that time, she did and make sure my father was not aware of it, like I said before. And like you asked that question in a way that you ask it. What are women that are married, that have FGM, that they come to social media, fault of their children is not for their husband. They are sleeping with the gate man. Didn't they have FGM? Is it not happening
Is a thing
in our
of the
country every
mind.
day?
I'm coming. You see?
So the problem with this is that in Nigeria, we don't have complete. I've read it. They don't do complete, they do partial. So they do it when we were younger. So it still grows as we are going. If you do it when somebody was like 5 or 6 days old, it's going to regain. The glands are going to come back and get a little bit bigger. If you do it when you were older, before you get married, that is very detrimental. But when you were younger, everything is going to come up because it was removed.
I'm going to tell you this.
So you still enjoy it.
And it does varies too. We cannot judge it in a very monolithic way. No, it varies. Each individual have their own different body type. Some of them, because as she has highlighted just now, we have our own is partial removal. It's not like the other type. Most of them, and again in Nigeria, even some of the Muslims, they've experienced the pharaonic, the Libya Mayora one, the one that they remove almost every, the pharaonic type. Okay, so and again, in order for us, the question what actually caused that a little bit of argument just now was the fact that okay, how come women that are still like
I didn't like when woman I have to protect my people.
So what? Okay, I'm just trying to what actually caused that.
You say anything about Igbo, you know what?
So what happened is
what happened is under the bus.
What happened
so
is
I have to stand for my people.
The truth is,
because
I will tell you something.
More than 1 million.
Is this fight that people will come and watch?
This is
people will come and watch. Among women in Lagos, they are having sugar daddy. Are they Benin women?
I would say
Benin women.
Okay,
please don't ever use that word. I'm a 100% Benin woman. I'm married. 47 years in my marriage. You don't talk about that?
Wait, stop.
What I'm trying to say in a nutshell is, whether you're mutilated or not, being a prostitute is a thing of the mind. If you love yourself, it's all about, for me personally, it's all about dignity. Okay, and we talked about the fact that okay, some women that are mutilated, how come they still have orgasm? Yes, they do, because what happened is, as I've said before, I use this analogy that okay, what about somebody that is blind? They find another way to try to overcome that blindness. They use their other senses. So when we are talking about mutilation, associating mutilation, women that are mutilated to prostitution, that prostitution is a choice. Okay, is a thing of is something that they choose to do. So most women is a profession that they choose. Yeah, I'm telling you, prostitution it has to even be legalized. Prostitution should not be criminalized. It has to be legalized so that those women that are prostituting, they should be safe. They should be doing it and paying tax because they are using their body. I'm doing gender studies. I'm doing gender studies. Okay. So when it comes to women's body, women, again, let's be realistic. We should not castigate them all because we are women too. Another thing is some women try to show their power by using their body and say, so I've talked about the thing that I've talked about choice. Is a thing of the mind, and it's also a choice. You will see some of the women that are, working as a prostitute, because I'm not going to say they are working as a prostitute. Some of them were mutilated. I'm telling you. So they are not there because they want to enjoy it, but they are there rather to work and make their money. Okay, it's not because of the enjoyment now. So we have to know these two disparities.
So I wish that the people that are still carrying out this act and performing it on the younger ones will be aware that because they are mutilating this female does not stop them from
doing anything. Thank you. I know where you are coming from.
Awareness. Yeah.
Yes, the awareness is it does not stop. Rather, it does
stop some people, not all of them.
I am what happened is no, Sister Vivian, I'll tell you, for me personally, I'll go against it that it does not stop, because I will not lie to you. It has to do with self-dignity. If you ask me, it is your own dignity. Those that were, are you telling me that those girls that are not mutilated, that were born in the late 80s, early 80s, that are not mutilated, they will all go into prostitution? No, it's a choice. Ask me. Even our kids that we gave birth to, are they going to go into prostitution because they were not? No.
I said some of them. I said some of them. I didn't say all of them.
So if we still agree in a way, sister, if we agree in a way that it is going to, lead to promiscuity, which means we are also supporting the fact that FGM is in a way good. No, we are saying that they should completely eradicate it. It's not good
in any way.
So it's not good.
It's illegal in some countries already. Countries right now.
So my stand is FGM has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with you are too promiscuous or anything. It's just it's just a way for men to oppress women. It's a way to suppress women's sexuality. And you guys should remember the double standard too. As a woman, we are already oppressed beneath the hierarchy, and now again, as our sexuality is also I'm telling you, it's a way to reinforce the fact that we are beneath them. I'm telling you.
And remember, in years before, as a woman, if you overexpress yourself during sexual intercourse, some men will ask you to leave.
They'll frown upon it. A lot of men frown upon that. I'm good, like,
they'll leave their house.
Yes, they will ask you to go to your parents' house. Like a prostitute. So there's a lot of things that went on during our mother's time, but now
that was why we talked about stigmatization.
Yeah,
you'll be ostracized. Okay, which means it's about trying to curtail that woman to make sure that yes, this woman is for me. Because normally, do we know that we as women, we are our own for them. We are just meant to reproduce children, not to enjoy it. We are not meant to enjoy sexual intercourse.
That was for us to reproduce. You can say it in the beginning that most of our parents were raped because they didn't enjoy it. They didn't do anything.
Nothing. No kissing, no nothing.
If you ask the older men and all the time and say, honey, I want it, he would just say, I don't understand. Is she going to kill me?
You can't even say it.
Here in Canada, a guy complained to me, I'm going to try, in case the person is going to watch, and said, can you talk to her? She's asking for sex too much. And I said, she's married to you. If she's asking you for sex, what's the problem? Are you having it somewhere else? How many times is she asking for sex? 3 times or 4 times a week? Can't you do 4 times a day? I mean, what is wrong with that? So I'm telling you that at this time, some men are still trying to use this stigma on women. They are still trying to do it to suppress us, the older men, not the younger ones. So parents that are watching, because we already passed an hour, and
I have a question before we close, right? I'm directing this to Faith, who is doing some research and a scholar, Google and PhD and stuff like that. Faith, how have you taken this step further to Nigeria or to your community back in Nigeria to let them hear your voice?
My intention is to actually go. I want to look for survivors of FGM, because my intention is to have survivors back home. Like I was thinking of doing this. I was thinking of having like a group of people to interview within the age range of say 40 plus. Okay, and I'll interview them, and I'll also interview some that are living here in global, like in Canada, and I will now ask them because I want to have different women so that they will share their own experience. They will talk about their experiences as in when they're making love and all that, the side effects. I want to hear from them because all as you may see, like every every woman have their own different.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that taking it back to the local people who are performing the act and
No, it's not. No, I will tell you, Katia, it is not widespread like before. It is more done in
No, there's a
in a
lot
covert way.
of
Now, I'm not
groups.
lying to. It's not as if it's not happening, but
It's
there
still
is a
happening,
lot of
but it's not.
awareness. They
yeah,
still
but
do it.
is there anything like education to tell those
Yes,
people in the village to
we
say,
are going to tell. I'm
Mama,
going to talk.
this
I'm going
thing
to
is
talk
not
about
working?
the health implication. I'm going to tell them the health implications, and I'm going to, yeah, of course, I will tell them. But before I do that, I will have to have a group of women that have experienced it, survivors, and those that are actually doing it. I'll go and talk to them. I'll talk to them about the health implications, the reason why they should not do it. Even if they want to even carry it, they should do it in a space whereby, like in a medical space, like go to us.
Yeah.
If they choose to so do it, they should meet a medical doctor. You know, should not be
Like
carrying
if
out
we are working with the World Health Organization,
organization.
I think
Yes,
these people will be the backbone that is going to lead through to
it's
create
their yeah,
awareness in
exactly.
Africa.
Yeah.
So that is my intention. It's not just carrying out FGM without, proper preventions, like preventative measures to be used in terms of, having all these health complications and all that, because we have the short-term health implications and the long-term health implications. Okay,
For
like
me, I
yeah.
will not condone it to even say that take it to the
Yeah,
proper
I'm just saying,
environment.
just in
It has
case
to
you
be
have people that will
abolished.
still do it. It has to
No,
be
but the
my
thing,
own is for it to be completely eradicated. That is my fight. But we have to
yeah,
also, yeah, that is what I'm fighting for it to be completely eradicated. And of course, they've said that, but people are still doing it in a covert way. They are still carrying it out,
yeah.
even in Western world. I'm
Um,
telling you.
there's a lot
They
of
should.
there is a lot of documentary on this on BBC,
Yes,
on CNN, on CNN. So there's even in Indian, they have a lot of people, a lot of groups that are speaking about it. If you go on YouTube channel, you see the
yes.
Indian women. They have razor. They call it razor in their hand.
There's a
So
blade.
the awareness is everywhere
It's
already.
everywhere.
But because of
No. But can
culture,
I tell you something that the people, whenever you say that the awareness is everywhere, the people that we're talking about don't come to YouTube. It's people like me and
Okay,
you
you're talking
who
about
go on video and
yeah,
video
going on a
information
grassroots
on
to go,
YouTube. The
we
people
have to be
in
talking
the
about
village,
grassroots, as
going to the
Faith is
rural
saying.
area to go
grassroots.
educate grassroots. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Katia. That
Yeah,
is what I'm saying. For my research, I'll go to places like that. Okay, and tell them these are some of the health implications. We'll speak the language that they will understand. To tell them that this is not good. This has to be, this has to stop. We have to completely stop this because it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. The women are still doing what they want to do. It's a thing of the mind. Okay, the women are still doing what they want
it's a
to
thing of
do.
the
If they
mind.
want to be prostitute, they will
It's a
still go ahead to do it.
yeah.
If they want to sleep around, they will still go ahead to do it. So why are we inflicting pain on innocent babies, women? Why?
Like I'm gonna say this: in some
Oh, somebody
villages,
is saying
they
that
are
there
not.
is a law
They.
on it now. There is a
Of course,
law.
there is
I'm
of
telling
course
you,
there is law. Katia.
some countries have eradicated it. Is now illegal. Um, what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of documentary from universities, from the World Health Organization. So there's more awareness, at least up to 60%. And we are talking about our children. We didn't do it. So imagine my generation, we're no longer circumcising our
See,
daughters. So there's a there, and we need to go to the grassroots where they are still doing it. In my village, they don't. For many years now, it's not something they want to talk about. My village is just about 2 hours away from Benin, so maybe the ones that are still very not aware of it. But I think even the men, our fathers are against it already. Now they like
That's
people that are
most
more
men. They are
flexible.
against it. Yes.
They are against
They
it
are
because
against it.
they are
Yeah.
against it because they see the depression that SGM has caused to most to their daughters. Men coming home and say, "I don't want anything to do with her," but the reason behind is her sexuality. She's not performing, and now they're enjoying other women more. So, in a nutshell, this is what I'm going to say. Mothers, please, please do stop doing this to your daughters. We don't need to do this to them.
So
They need to enjoy sex. Look at your side effects, what you are going through as a woman. Do you want your daughter to be having this problem? The long run, the long run effect and the short effect. So if she's going to be bearing too much, she cannot have a child, or she has fistula, she's bedwetting. These are all the long complications from SGM. So I'm very sincere. We just want to get this to more people that are in the rural area, but the awareness is really out there. When I
I
did my
think
research,
I
it was
agree with
really out
somebody.
there.
Somebody on the comment is saying that the best, I think she's directing to Faith, that that's something like a workshop where you can do workshop, and the more, if you start doing workshop, it's going to grow. If you start with 3 people, before you know it, you have thousands of people. And it's always good to carry things out in group instead of 1 or 2 people going to trying to eradicate something. If a group of women, especially in the Western world, can come together and form like a forum to start talking about it and moving forward and get many people involved. Even people who are not victims like me, I would like to join, because I like to help women.
They spare you, Katia. They spare you. You're not a victim.
No, I'm not. My father,
so I'm gonna tell you.
Was a teacher. My father was an engineer. We come from middle class people, and my grandmother was a little coy woman, So we didn't experience that. I was talking to my big sister the other day. She said, "No, we're not part of that."
I will tell you. I'll give you 3 things why. Before I leave, though, I'm going to just tell you, this is what I just came. What does FGM function? What they try to maintain is FGM functions to maintain the power of men while perpetuating the subjugation and passivity of women. They try to maintain that power, to maintain it. And again, patriarchy, we cannot talk about FGM without talking about patriarchy. Okay, patriarchal power is reinforced by direct physical violence against the female body. Okay, this is a way, because when we are talking about FGM, is the subjugate, they try to subjugate women, try to maintain that patriarchal power. I'm a man, I'm the boss of the house, I will control your sexuality.
Yeah,
there is something that grandmothers do.
The morality of a man. That was why the Egyptians were doing it.
Yes, that is it. And religion and culture can manifest and express power and domination too. We use the religion, we use culture to maintain that power and domination of women. Okay, so it is not just, they'll say, oh, we are supposed to, as this culture, you're supposed to be mutilated otherwise. And again, they will use religion too. Okay, as a Christian, you're supposed to be mutilated so that you are not overly sexually promiscuous. So these are some of the things these are some of the reasons why
the Christian can't argue this.
No, it's not in the Bible, but they now took it and said, you know what, we have to be doing this. It's never in the Bible. Women were never mutilated in the Bible. It came from Egypt. But who does this now? The Jewish, the Muslims, and Christians.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I have their own cultural belief.
I have one more thing to say, and then everybody can say whatever they want to say for 1 minute. I'm going to read the comments fast. We have like 5 minutes to close.
Can go. Yeah.
Because I added extra minutes today. So let me tell you guys something. I don't know if you guys will remember Vivian Faith or if you guys are watching. In those days, when grandmothers come to do omogo, when they come to help their child, they become grandmother, and a baby girl is born, grandmothers will use hot water with towel to damp on the little girl's clitoris. This is part of mutilation. Are you guys kidding me?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes. They'll put the hot water. They'll use it to dab it. To be dabbing it.
They'll be dabbing on
it's culturally ingrained. Let me tell you, Katia,
the reason why they are dabbing is to stop it from growing.
Yes.
But they know that is the
erection, because they believe that once the clitoris is erected, right? Because they have different type. Some looks like it has different shape. Some are like it will protrude like a little penis. I'm going to tell you another. I don't know if I want to whisper this now. It's some will protrude like a little penis. But some are like hibiscus flower.
I love
different
flowers.
Yeah. So different shapes. So, and those ones that men feel, I will tell you, it's all about men. The reason why this mutilation is ongoing is just to make sure that let me stop my shoot. Men will feel intimidated to have a woman with a protruded clitoris.
All over.
Years ago, I watched
intimidation and their muscular.
Masculinity. Yeah, they feel intimidated. How come she is? These are some of the things. So it gears back to patriarchy. We have to look at it going back to all those things. The domination, how men, try to, subjugate women, oppress women, and keep them as those that are passive. You have to
control.
Yeah, to be controlled. Yeah, it's a way to control woman's body.
But that's not happening anymore. Men are more.
No, it does.
I'm sorry,
please.
That's not happening
no, it does.
No, it does.
I'm not saying it's completely eradicated. Faith. I'm not saying it's completely eradicated.
Even when we talk about controlling of women, controlling and policing of women.
But we've come a long way.
We are still trying to, because it's not as there are so many things. We are not going to say that women and men are still the same. No, it is not the same. We don't want to bring gender issue now. We don't want to talk about gender.
Don't get me wrong.
We don't want to go. No. We don't want to. This is gender issue, but we don't want to go deeper now. Yes. So this has been ongoing.
But we've come a long way, and we've come a long way. Things have changed. The same clitoris that our fathers, culture, whatever it is, that was not, they didn't want it to grow, is what the men likes now. The one that goes downtown. Where do they go to downtown? That is where they want to go. So you see, things are just coming back to knowledge.
So I will just say, I will round up my own
knowledge.
Yeah. So okay, we're going to be closing in 1 minute. But I have an advice for young people. It's something I watched when I was doing the research. If you're still in your 30s or 20s and you live in this part of the world and you bring your mother, I believe, will be maybe in her 50s or whatever. Please pay attention to this. It's according to the video that I watched. Somebody in America had to snatch her baby from her mother that came from Nigeria because she was dumping hot water on the baby girl when the baby, how they are bathing the baby, right? So the real mother of the child has to snatch the baby from her mother and say, Mommy, don't do that to my child, what you did to me. They are trying to stop it.
It's hard to unlearn.
If you bring your mother from Africa to come and help you stay when you just have a child, be very careful. Don't let, if you have to explain to her. If you want to tell her not to bathe your baby, it's okay. The baby, it's your baby and it's her grandchild. Just lay down the rules. Mama, I don't want you to bathe them. When I come back from work, I will bathe the baby, because they still take hot water and cloth pressing on it.
So for me personally, I will continue to advocate for speaking against oppressive, disabling practices in all forms. So my hope is to make sure that I speak to people, tell them that please stop any violence that is directed towards women, we have to stop it. We have to be an ally for younger generation. We have to be an ally for women. We have to be there to say no to any form of injustice that is directed towards women. And that is why we are doing this. We are creating awareness for those people that are out there thinking that this FGM is only prevalent in Africa. I'll tell you, it is also done in the Western world in a very covert way. So please, we are begging you for them to listen to us. They should stop this. Stop these practices. They are not good. It's just a way to keep oppressing women. Thank you.
Yeah, so mothers, I'm going to say FGM is not good. Those of you who can read and write, you can go and read the side effects and what you've lived, the trauma you went through. You don't want your daughters to go through that. And we'll continue to talk about it. Women, don't be ashamed to talk about it, because there are some cultures that have a complete FGM. They have a complete physical remove. And I've seen those women, I've worked with those women, they are shy, they don't talk about it. If you want to take care of them, they don't want to open their legs for you to touch it. It's only when they are sedated and you are able to do something or anything to them, they are very shy and they are so close. You see them talking very quietly. It's something very depressing. They look at you as a woman, they don't want to open up themselves to you, they don't want to be where you are. In their culture, they stick together. So women, let's talk about this. And for those of us, thank God our children are free and we know better. So begin to tell your friends back home, don't do this to your children, don't keep quiet. Let's
Faith, there's a lot of things here for Faith. People are urging you and applauding you. Ndiama said that Faith is an inspiration. Jojo said that Faith, you have to collaborate with some organizations and make your mission known to the world. Lovely Cherokee, thank you so much. The mutation is sickening and disgusting. Lovely Cherokee, gone a long way, more seriously and disgusting. Jojo, she explained her experience. Faith, she's talking about your experience, and she shed tears. This is Jojo saying that she shed tears. We told, it's a long stuff. Catherine Samuel, women, okay, wow, people.
Thank you, everyone.
I'll definitely all here. Please, they are all on YouTube. They're building their YouTube channels. Faith Adodo and Vivian Williams. If you are a prestigious talk show, if you have been following me, you know that Vivian is not a stranger. We do things here. Please go back to her channel, Vivian Williams. I don't know why you didn't write your name in full.
Please, prestigious talk show. Please follow me on YouTube.
Please,
okay.
And I know that you guys are excited.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel because you're going to see more of this. Yeah, I'm going to be advocating for women. I'll do my best.
Everybody. Please,
oh my God, Faith, you're mentally strong as well.
Our movie Class is showing. Please, everyone, watch Class on Netflix May 18th.
May 18th.
Posters. And
please follow us also on Instagram where you will see everything. I'll be
we should do a workshop, Kathy. Yes. But I'm not shy to talk about it.
Yeah, you're not.
I want to break the silence.
Yes,
in order for you to see change, it has to start with me and you. Keeping quiet will not change anything. Rather, when you speak about it, it will create change. So that is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I am not ashamed. I'm not shy about it. Rather, talking about it empowers me a lot.
And Benin people, don't come for me. I didn't do anything. I'm just trying to scare the fire. And have me and Vivian can fight. Vivian is much taller than me.
Mother, I better give that matter.
Vivian is about 6 foot, and I am 5'4". If Vivian
she's more than 6, so
6'2". When she's 1,
I am correct the meat.
I am like 5'4". Vivian will sit on top of me and say, "Why did you say that about me?"
That's
I just have to correct. I just have to correct the whole.
I know
things going out there. Yeah.
Faith will fight for me, even though.
But guys, we need to go.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
guys,
Oh my
I gotta
God,
go.
Thank you.
I
I've
love
Thank
stayed
you
too
you
guys.
long.
so much. Thank you.
She will take my side, even though
Bye,
she's
everybody.
Thank
your
you
sister.
so much. Uh,
So
this is
beautiful face.
interesting. Thank you, Katia.
Continue shining.
Yeah. Yes.
Anytime I'm there. There's a lot
Thank
of things that we have to do
Of
together this
course, of
summer.
course.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this is
I love it.
really it's something that I'm ready to go out there and speak about it. If I can write
Yes.
about it, why can't I speak about
Of
it?
course.
So I have
Of
to start
course.
creating that awareness. So I'm
Yes.
not shy about it.
Yes.
And
You're
it is
doing
time for
awesome.
people to know that this is what happened to me. I didn't have any agency. I was a baby.
Yes.
Hello, I was
And
only
you, and
7
you know
years.
what? This
So
is
yeah,
why this part
yes,
of the world,
yeah.
anything that happens to them, they use it to empower other people. And
Of
I
course.
love it. But because we are African and because we are very
Now
often
we have to
judged, so many people keep mute and they don't use their experience to empower
no.
other people. But it's you and I that is going to put an end to this.
Yes,
So
yes.
we are on this journey
I
together.
am a survivor of FGM and I'm here to break that barrier. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
watching.
Love you,
Please
sis.
subscribe to my YouTube channel, Prestigious Talk Show. Love you guys. Thank you, Katia, for this opportunity.
I
I'm
love
looking forward to
it.
it anytime.
Yes,
Invite me, girl.
baby
Thank
girl. Love
you.
you. Thank you
Love
so
you, sis.
much.
Bye.
Bye.